Hi, we are going to talk about opportunities in mobile technology. Opportunities available to us through the mobile technology. Kenya's development is guided by a long-term blueprint by the name Kenya Vision 2030, which aims to transform the country into a newly industrializing middle-income country, providing a high quality of life to all citizens by the year 2030. The vision is based on three pillars: economic pillar, the social pillar, and the political pillar. The aims of the Vision 2030 are: number one, growing the GDP rate at 10% per annum. Number two, building a just and a cohesive society with social equity in a clean and secure environment. And number three is realizing a democratic system which focuses on people's issues and is accountable and results-oriented. The three pillars are anchored on 6 foundations, namely infrastructure, science, technology and innovation, land reform, human resource development, security, and public service reforms. The ICT sector was identified as a key enabler in the achievement of Vision 2030 goals and aspirations, as it has become a crucial enabler of socio-economic development, mainly through reduced transaction costs and enhanced connectivity. The ICT sector growth has remained strong and robust over the last 10-year period. However, the trend has been fluctuating during the period. The GDP growth has also remained strong and resilient, fluctuating performance. The trend in both GDP growth and ICT sector growth exhibits same characteristics, which indicates that when the GDP growth is on an upward trajectory, the ICT sector is also on an upward trend. This implies that the ICT sector is a very important sector to the Kenyan economy. The role of mobile technology in ICT and the mobile telephone services have been a major source of expansion in the ICT sector. Over the period, the number of fixed line connections has been decreasing while mobile connection, wireless connection have been increasing, which implies that mobile telephone services have been embraced by the population. The rate of mobile penetration stands at 85.9%, internet penetration stands at 58.8%, and mobile money utilization stands at 70.5%. To date, Kenya has the following mobile service providing companies: Safaricom, Airtel Kenya, Telcom Kenya, FinServe Africa Limited, Sema Mobile Services. These companies provide the following services: broadband communication, mobile money transfer, internet access and connectivity, and mobile commerce transactions. Between 2010 and 2016, we have seen a drop in fixed line capacity by 58% and 69% in the wired line connectivity, while mobile telephone capacity has increased by 93%, mobile connectivity has increased by 56%. Mobile money transfer subscribers increased by 201% from 10.62 million to 31.997 million between 2010 and 2016. Mobile money innovation, M-Pesa, has radically changed the financial sector since its development in 2007. It has increased the numbers of people accessing financial services in the country, and the amount of funds transacted has been increased steadily to reach 15.26 billion. In the same period, that is 2010 to 2016, the growth in availability of bandwidth is 900%, while the utilized bandwidth has grown by 4,158%. The total fixed wired broadband has increased by 1,992%, while the total active mobile increased by 8,006%. This tremendous increase in utilization of bandwidth implies that the population is increasing the utilization of the internet services. Mobile bandwidth has increased exceptionally due to the embracing of mobile technology, not only for communication purposes, but also for other services, including mobile money transfer. The subscription, the services between 2010 and 2016 is as follows. The wireless internet subscription has increased by 793%. The fixed wired internet subscription has increased by 761%, while the estimated internet users has increased by 725%. The rate of internet utilization has therefore increased over the years. However, the increase in the number of wireless internet subscriptions is very high compared to that of the fixed or wired subscription, thus exhibiting the expansion of mobile technology by the population. This also indicates that the population is utilizing more services apart from the communication. The following are the benefits of the ICT sector. Number one, there is faster and efficient means of communication across the country. Number two, there is financial inclusion, whereby there is an increase in the population accessing financial services. It has also led to provision of financial services to customers by banks through the development of financial applications, e.g. M-Kopa by KCB, Equitel by Equity Bank. Number four, it has also increased the investment opportunities through the M-Akiba platform for the purchase of government bonds, contributing to the Kenyan economy about 3.11 billion. ICT has also led to the creation of direct and indirect employment opportunities in the country. And number six, it has increased efficiency in government service provision, with about 109 government services being offered online through eCitizen, which includes the issuance of visa, driving licenses, passports, registration of companies, and land registration, and Huduma Center, which are one-stop shops for offering government services. It has also increased efficiency of the retail trade through M-Commerce, e.g. through the Lipa na M-Pesa services by Safaricom Limited. It has increased innovations in telecommunication, infrastructure, and mobile money, with Kenya being ranked among top 5 African countries with the fastest growth in innovation in this area. The huge benefits it has also brought to the health sector, which is is used for improving distribution of medicine and medical supplies and monitoring antenatal and postnatal clinics. The agriculture sector has also seen a growth in the distribution of fertilizers and dissemination of information to farmers, and increasing their yield and accessing markets. The education sector has also embraced the online education programs and education apps, among others. The challenges facing the ICT sector today are: number one, inadequate skills and human capacity for undertaking ICT functions and research and development in ICT. Number two, inadequate legislation for better exploitation of ICT, particularly in commerce. Number three, digital divide between rural and urban areas, which limits utilization of ICT and slow adoption of ICT services. Number four, internet security, particularly the cyber security. Number five, inadequate supply of affordable and uninterrupted power supply. Number six, limited penetration of telecommunication infrastructure in the rural areas. Number seven, inadequate data to carry out ICT policy research and analysis. Number eight, high costs of ICT services. ICT sector presents us in Kenya with the following opportunities. There is growth in mobile commerce, and this growth is expected to increase demand for solutions, e.g. cloud computing and also retail trade application. There is development of mobile applications to utilize the mobile technology in transport, security, agriculture, health, education sectors, among others. Then there's development of ICT infrastructure to cover the whole country, particularly the rural areas. An ICT product for internet services, security services, and health services, personal computers and hardware, among others. And there is also demand for cheaper 3G-enabled handsets to tap into the currently unutilized 3G network, mobile, and even 4G-enabled high-definition video gaming services and internet-based television. Opportunities that we can continue exploiting through mobile telephone services. There is continued communication through voice and text. There is internet accessibility, content sharing through apps like WhatsApp. There is photography, there is videography, there is voice recording, there is voice video on demand. There is employment opportunities in content creation, web-based research, education, and mobile money. These are explained in the following.
We have the Power Director. As soon as I saw this app, I had to install it, as I have used this app previously on my PC, and I knew that this was editor's choice on the PC Mag for 8 times. The mobile app is just as powerful and awesome as the desktop version. You have a simple UI with all the necessary tools like adding layers, which gives you a lot of flexibility while editing, choosing from a wide variety of effects, audio mixing, and so on. You can tap on the clip for trimming and other tools. The overall UI is really clean and very easy to understand. You can export your video on Full HD or even 4K. This is amongst the first video editing app on Android to support 4K rendering, and also the render speed is pretty good. I use it quite often to edit small length videos, whether it's my family video or videos that I upload on my Instagram.
I'm going to be doing most of my filming for today. You'll notice here we are using the DJI Osmo Mobile, and you'll notice I'm walking around and it is just really smooth. I'm using the face tracking, so it's following my face around. It's very cool. So let's go ahead and get started. One thing that always looks cool is a quick movement across some bricks. Just gonna do a slow orbit around here. So once you've finished filming all of your footage, head on over to Final Cut Pro and import it, and we'll pick up there. Alright, so here we are in Final Cut Pro. I'm gonna just show you 2 simple, very easy tricks that will really make your videos look a lot more cinematic. So here I just have a static shot of a light bulb. Not really that much is going on in this shot, it's just kind of blowing in the wind a little bit. So what we're gonna do is start by going to the letterbox effect. So when you apply this to the video, basically what we're going to do is make a sort of widescreen look. So all I need to do is go into the effect settings and change the aspect ratio to 235:1, and you get this sort of widescreen cinematic view. Now there's only one other effect that I'm going to put on, and that is cold steel. So in my opinion, this is one of the best preset non-color correction required effects that you have in Final Cut Pro. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit because it's a little heavy to start off with. But it sort of gives a very film noir, almost pseudo black and white, but very contemporary look to your footage. And if you can see, if we play this back, it already looks a lot more cinematic. So you can see all I did was just take this video with an iPhone, and with 2 clicks it has become much more cinematic. So what I'm going to do now is put together a little montage of the footage that I collected, and you guys can check it out and see what you think for about 10 to 15 minutes worth of work.
From various websites, especially from YouTube. You can either go to YouTube directly from here or search for any video, and then tap this icon to download the video. Else you can enter the URL of any video you want and get it downloaded. And while downloading, you also get to choose the video quality, which is quite nice. Again, if you just want the audio, not the video, you have that option. Well, this app had something I wish every contact app had by default. It can create QR codes out of your contact, so the other person using this app can quickly scan the QR code and save the contact information. Makes it quite quick as you don't have to type in the name and other details. Additionally, you can also chat right from this app, which is kinda cool. Caffeinate. Well, as the name implies, this app will keep the device awake until the given time. First, make sure you have Android 7 and above, and then add its extension on your notification panel. Then you can tap on it to activate Caffeinate. You can increase the timer by tapping on it again and again, and cancel it anytime from its notification. This app helps you get the color codes from a given picture. Basically, you can select any picture or take a picture to get all the color codes on that picture. I hope you guys are not confused what I just said. Okay, this will make more sense. Here you have a huge collection of pictures. Tap on any picture you like and you literally get all the color codes. Online TV contents like sports, news, TV shows, movies and many more. The best part of this app is everything you stream is absolutely free and it can be casted onto the Chromecast.
Mobile phone photography tips and tricks. Here are some tricks to get good photos using a mobile phone. First, adjust the phone settings. Go to camera settings to change the resolution settings and the quality settings. Set the resolution to the highest possible. Using all the pixels available on your camera ensures the best possible quality of image for your phone every time. Second, keeping the phone still. The shutter speed on your cell phone camera is far slower than those of normal cameras. Wobbling around with the screen of the camera will only get you blurry images. Losing on focus is the ultimate result of your not being careful with the lens. Here is a small technique to help you keep in focus. Brace the phone on all sides and if possible, rest your hand on a solid surface. Use your thumbs and fingers to hold the camera on 4 sides, making sure you do not block the lens of the camera while doing the same. Third, light. Capturing a picture in a bright situation where other light comes, like from the sun, will be a good help to have a better quality photograph. Fourth, try not to use the flash. Cell phone photography is best done when you put the flash of the camera off. The flash on a cell phone camera is far weaker than that of a normal camera, thus reaching only on the middle of the picture, leaving the edges of the picture dark and blurry.
Mobile apps in the agricultural sector has seen new fortunes for entrepreneurs. Derek Muturi is the founder of the Rabbit IQ, a herd management system that has seen rabbit farmers in Kenya make gains. Here is more. Derek Muturi, a software developer, had tried his hand on several businesses without success, but finally found his luck in rabbit farming.
So I went to the Nairobi International Trade Fair, that was in 2013, and I found a bunch of farmers exhibiting dairy cows, beef cattle, sheep, lamb, and rabbits. And I realized at the time I wanted to get into dairy farming. The cost of one dairy cow was averaging around 170,000 to 250,000. With that investment, I could actually set up a rabbitry and start with 100 rabbits, which multiply very fast. In 1 year, one rabbit gives birth to 40. If I start off with 100, I would have 4,000 in 1 year. That was the most scalable business I ever got into at the time.
He discovered that the quick breeding and maturation of rabbits made record keeping difficult, prompting him to develop the Rabbit IQ, a herd management system that keeps track of rabbit breeding and growth.
I wanted to make my farm as efficient as possible. So I read a lot of books, a lot of research online, and I found that farms in Italy and Spain would breed their rabbits 6-7 times 1 year. I was only breeding mine around 3-4 times. So I realized, hey, okay, there's a lot of inefficiencies in my farm. So how can I make this better? And essentially one of the challenges I was facing at the time was scheduling breeding. So you forget to breed a rabbit on time. Essentially, that is a time lag in your breeding schedule. So with my software skills, I decided if I could actually build out a very small software to just schedule my animals to breed throughout the entire year.
Initially, The commercial viability of the Rabbit IQ app wasn't seen. This changed when other rabbit farmers took interest in the app's success.
The commercial viability came about when 4 or 5 farmers told me, hey, how about we use the system as well? Because they're seeing the results. I mean, instead of 10 rabbits, how do you get to 180 in 4 months? So they saw the value in it. So I decided, okay, let me just open it up to everyone else. I put it online and gave people access. And when I got 50 farmers, then I realized, okay, probably this is a bigger market than I anticipated. I did some research, found out there were around 3,000 farmers.
However, the adoption of the application by rabbit farmers had its own set of challenges.
It is challenging to farmers who you have to train, who don't have a background in using systems, or they actually don't see the need of systems, or even they don't need to scale their particular businesses. So for us, we found that there are actually 2 kinds of farmers: those who are comfortable with what they're doing, and those who are looking to really, really grow. Other than subsistence farming, they want to have a business. So after we find that farmer, what we do, we just onboard them on the system ourselves. We register them, onboard the animals on the system, train them on how to use the system for a whole 3 months for free. Just use it, see the value of the system. If you're willing to use it further, then you'll start using it at a fee.
So what's his advice for other young entrepreneurs?
So I'll actually encourage a lot of young people to get into agribusiness, but do not follow the status quo. You have to change. You have to disrupt markets, and you have to do things very differently. I mean, we are a rabbit farm, but we're still a software business. So we're integrated, and pretty much a lot of people do not see the connection between that. But imagine, if you're running a company right now, you'll need accounting software. You will need word processing software. Even a farmer will need that. Why don't they use it? So if you can't do that, then essentially you're not running a business. You're just running a hobby. So you have to find ways to make your business efficient, scalable, and also marketable.
A mobile revolution has hit the ranges of the Masai Mara ecosystem. Every ranger nowadays goes on patrol with a smartphone that he will use in the field to put the data he collects.
Nilipoenda patrol tukapatana na wildlife.
John Leshan, a senior ranger in the Mara North Conservancy, says that he has been using the application since March this year, when it was still in the pilot phase.
Unapoenda patrol, kabla uweze hiyo mafuta yote ya gari kurudi mpaka ofisi, unatumana direct hiyo reports kwa ofisi direct kwa msituni. Kwa hivyo inasaidia kwa hiyo njia moja.
Kitambo mlikuwa mnafanya nini?
Kitambo tulikuwa tunatumia tu notebook ku record the information, ambayo kwa mfano ukipata information una record kwa notebook monthly, before end of the month unakuja kwa ofisi kuleta hiyo field report.
The app was developed by Strathmore University's iLab in close consultation with the scouts and rangers so as to make something they would need. It requires an ordinary smartphone, and now almost all the rangers in the ecosystem have one. They have done away with the numerous gadgets they would use before, and it's all simplified into one. It is called the Wildlife Information Landscape Database, in short and aptly WILD.
Kitambo mulikuwa na kamera, mulikuwa na...
Yes, kitambo tulikuwa na kamera. Wakati tunapotumia kamera, kama kwa mfano tumepata poachers, tumearrest anybody ama tumeona any wildlife conflicts, tunapicha picha, alafu baadaye tunaleta hiyo picha kwa ofisi, ndio inakuja kuangaliwa.
Now the pictures are taken by the phone and the details have also been put down. The application allows the rangers to take down everything they see during their missions. Every detail has a menu on the app where it can be put in, and this is immediately accessed by the administrators of the ecosystem back at the headquarters.
Human-wildlife conflicts. Sasa mtu akishaharibikiwa na vitu, when you report it inasaidia nini?
Sisi kama watu wa MEP tuna collect information, then we take to the KWS ambayo wanafanya compensation.
This means that action, especially on emergencies, is faster.
Mwaipata poachers ama kitu?
Tumeipata poachers, tumerecord, badala ya kuongojea hiyo report ifike kwa ofisi, tayari imeshafika through WILD. Yeah.
Sasa poachers inasaidia, inaweza tumika kama evidence kwa koti?
Yeah, inaweza kutumika kama evidence kwa koti.
Mumetumia?
Bado lakini inaweza kutumika kama evidence.
Once the patrol icon is on, the phone traces a ranger's movements with good accuracy through GPS. If there is no network wherever he is, the phone stores the data and transmits when the ranger goes to an area with the mobile network.
Nikipata kakas kama hii na record wildlife, and recording wildlife.
The data gathering tool is hailed as a major departure from the pens and papers before and is targeted for use in the whole country and in the region eventually to enable managers of national parks and conservancies make informed decisions.
The development of one of Kenya's first mobile applications to be available globally on the Android and Nokia OV platforms was mainly driven by the regrettable experiences of a disputed presidential poll. The pain, anguish, loss of property and bloodshed suffered after the 2007 polls. Nathan Mayuko, together with the team of Afro's Company Limited, needed to make a positive mark in this year's general election, and they sought funding from the ICT board to enable the development and placement of the Kenyan customized mobile games on these platforms.
We're a game development company which works to gamify social-based issues, to use that to address the concerns of African society.
He further demonstrates how to tackle the puzzle. He urges corporates and well-wishers to support the enormous innovations young Kenyans come up with as a means of earning them a just livelihood and deter them from acts of violence.
Where books may be in short supply, Africa has no shortage of cell phones. The pupils at this Nairobi school are using them as part of their studies. Each has a specially developed application known as Eneza, a Swahili word meaning to reach.
Eneza was the birth of my co-founder, Tony, who was in Muhuru Bay. It was really hard for her because there wasn't enough individual feedback and there were no proper ways of getting in touch with everyone at the same time. So when she came to Nairobi, we met together and we came up with this idea that we could use mobile phones to do this, because she also noticed even though that place was like a very remote area, all the people had mobile phones. So once you're done registering, you will receive a simple menu, and this is what it looks like.
The application works on a very basic cell phone and can be used anywhere that has cell phone coverage. Eneza, launched in Kenya in 2012, is now used in more than 5,000 schools by more than 1/3 pupils.
We've seen that from our impact study in 2012 that students increased 5% in their scores, and when we tested it out last year, 2013, with teachers being at the driving end of the platform and working with the students, that improvement went up to 11%. So I'd say all around it's helping kids think more critically about their education and about what they want out of school.
Now, the Eneza application has had a massive impact here at Red Rose Academy, where students are using the mobile phone and supplementing it for textbooks, making sure that they are able to improve in their studies. And the students here are welcoming this idea.
It has helped me in subjects like science. I was failing, like getting 60%, but now at least I get 80. And also in maths and almost every subject, it has helped me.
I learn things from other classes, and especially the quizzes. They really help us. People in our class are really improving.
The phones were useful to the pupils because most of them use them effectively, because they could revise during their free time. So I think that was effective to them.
Eneza's founders are aiming to reach 50 million children across Africa.
In terms of geography, we're looking to move into Tanzania and Ghana in early 2015.
For a generation that couldn't imagine life without a cell phone, it's bound to appeal more than a textbook. And it means wherever the pupil may be, they always can take their classroom with them.
Every minute, M-Pesa transforms the lives of more than 25,000 people in Kenya. This is by providing different possibilities to progress in life. By the time you finish watching this clip, 3,900 people will experience the ease of purchasing airtime and data from their phones. 1,400 will deposit money into their M-Pesa accounts. 1,500 people will receive money from their family, friends, and others. 1,005 will receive money from more than 190 countries. 1,400 will access their cash through more than 130,000 agents and ATMs across the country. 1,700 will conveniently pay their bills, shopping, fuel, and other services from their phones. More than 15 businesses will make payments to other firms. 240 will transfer money from their bank to M-Pesa and vice versa. 875 will save money on their M-Shwari and KCB M-Pesa accounts, the most popular way to save in Kenya today. 375 will access instant, affordable microloans on M-Shwari and KCB M-Pesa. M-Pesa.
M-Shwari, it's a good experience. Like for small businesses where you don't have to go to the bank, they give you money directly, then you pay it back.
It's an attractive offer for Kenyans with little income and easy to handle because you only need a phone. So wherever Philip Azungira has some earnings, he stops at a local branch of his mobile provider. As soon as he deposits some money, he can borrow up to double that amount. The money is debited to his mobile phone account.
Okay. When I'm paying back my loan, I need to pay with an extra amount. So that the extra amount is taken from, after you pay a loan, they just take the loan amount and then the extra amount is sent back to your account.
The interest on the loan is 7% and banks charge even higher. With the mobile credit system, Philip Azungira doesn't have to wait until customers pay up before he can stock up his timber. Mobile phone operator Safaricom introduced the M-Shwari credit service 3 years ago, and it has now some 10 million customers. Today, Philip Azungira is one of the 10 million M-Shwari users in Kenya. A lot of his friends and family members in rural areas also use this service. It's becoming essential for people on low incomes.
The number one thing that people use their mobiles for is texting. The majority of people would rather send a quick text than make a phone call because it's so convenient. Unlimited texts, that's something that a lot of people need when they're purchasing a mobile phone plan. The second most common thing the average mobile phone user does these days is surf the internet. It's as standard of a feature of texting, with even the most basic mobile phones having some sort of web browser. Browsing shopping and social media sites, as well as using search engines like Google, are common to find out stuff on the move. How easy was it to find just how much the t-shirt you saw in the shop was online 5 years ago? Nowadays, you can just type it straight into your mobile phone's web browser. People also use their mobile phones to download and use applications. Most modern smartphones have some sort of application to allow the user to download apps, which can include nearly everything, including news, social networking, games, shopping, personal organisers, video sites like YouTube, and even loyalty apps, replacing your loyalty card just by scanning your phone when you're shopping in the real world. These features are absolutely fantastic. They're convenient, they're clever, and they allow you to communicate in new ways. But how do people who are visually impaired use the phones? Thankfully, technology is there to help them as well. Most of the modern smartphones have a built-in screen reader. A screen reader is a software application which simply reads out what's on the screen audibly, so those with visual impairments can effectively navigate their phone. This service on the Android platform is called TalkBack and is built right into the system.
Showing items 1 to 3 of 22. Showing items 2 to 4 of 22. Showing items 3 to 5 of 22. Gmail, edit box, tab. Capital H, E, L, L, O, below, H, I, delete O, W, power, O, T, T, I, N, G, H, M, Nottingham, V, I, C, T, O, R, I, Alert set at maps.
The mobile I'm using at the moment is a Samsung. It's quite an old one. And, you know, it's fine. I use it for a whole variety of different purposes. I use it a lot for texting, WhatsApp, messaging, sending picture messages quite a lot, Facebook, Twitter. Sometimes I'll use the internet to get information about sort of sports events and things. Sometimes with the spell check is really useful, for example, or it rectifies the spelling, because English is very much a second language for me as a deaf person, so that really helps, and sometimes the grammar checks as well. It's a real big benefit for the deaf community, because it's aided communication, whereas before deaf people used to have to make arrangements and meet up at a certain time to be able to chat to each other, whereas now we can do it over mobile phones. We can make arrangements to meet up. You can say if you've missed a bus, you know, everything's there. It's great, it's all in my pocket. It makes life so much easier. Well, if I didn't have a mobile, I'd have to be writing everything down. I'd have to, you know, think how to spell words if I was trying to communicate with hearing people as well. You know, my writing and my English literacy is not very good as a deaf person, so using a mobile is just so much better, because I can do it on there and it will, you know, do the spell check and everything else. I mean, there are obviously lots of different types of phones, and a lot of deaf people use the Apple iPhone because of FaceTime and Skype. Particularly FaceTime, it's got a really clear, good quality picture for signing, and obviously as a deaf person that's my first language, so it's been the first time that deaf people have been able to communicate really, really clearly, being able to use sign in a mobile type context. So the Apple iPhone is definitely the #1 choice of the deaf community. Yeah, in America they've had VIS for many, many years. And I know they're looking at seeing to get it set up here, but this is where you're able to make a call to a hearing person who doesn't sign through a sign language interpreter. So I would call the interpreter, and they'd make the call on my behalf and voice my information to the hearing person and sign back from the hearing person to me, so that I can have full access to the telephone system, the same as anybody else can. I mean, a lot of the deaf community now use mobiles, even a lot of older deaf people. And the impact it's had really is on the local deaf clubs, whereas deaf community always used to come to their local deaf club, like here, to meet up, because that's the only time that they could communicate in their first language with their friends during the week. That's lessened now because everybody's using mobiles, so they're able to text each other on